Hey Pisces, Ellie from Indigo Ascension, going to do your July 16th to the 31st reading. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit different again. I'm calling this the retrograde classroom, okay? You are the second sign who's got that. I'm calling it the retrograde classroom. We are smack bang in the middle of retrograde season, which will float all the way through to November, okay? So being at this point in the timeline, a lot of the collective will be feeling these energies starting to emerge, all right? So what is the retrograde season teaching you? What themes perhaps have you been picking up on? I want to connect into the collective Pisces and see what storylines might have been playing out, okay? What does retrograde season mean for me is unique to us all. The past comes back to play, yes. Sometimes practically speaking, sometimes it's for healing, sometimes it's for acknowledgement of pain we have suppressed, sometimes it's to bring back lost opportunities, but no opportunity is ever lost. All of life, like the cosmos, is cyclical, Pisces, okay? Now, we've still got Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto in retrograde. We're still feeling the effects of Mercury and Venus shadow retrograde. There's going to be a new moon in Cancer on the 20th, and happy birthday to all of the Leos as we see the sun enter Leo on the 22nd of July. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards. I've pulled 3 energy cards for you, and I'm going to pull some tarot cards to see if it picks up on situations, experiences, energies that you might have been experiencing or may be experiencing in the final 2 weeks of July when it comes to the lessons of the retrograde. As you find yourself sitting within the classroom of retrogrades, and it's no different to, like I was saying in the other readings, it's about being taught by the energy of these planets. If each of them was a substitute teacher or a different kind of teacher in high school, yeah, they each come and enter the classroom and offload us with a bit of wisdom, energy, and opportunity to grow our consciousness or experience growth and healing. And how I receive that information, Pisces, and how I perceive that and take that opportunity on board is going to be very different to the next person sitting next to me and yourself. And thereafter, each of us is unique, okay? I do see here you're connecting into energies of purpose, balance, and honesty. The retrograde season is offering you an opportunity to truly get honest with yourself about what needs to be balanced in your life. Energetically, emotionally, mentally, practically, take it however it resonates. Many Pisceans are also connecting into a newfound wisdom about their purpose. All right, this is showing up for a lot of the zodiacs, you know. And in looking back, in inviting retrograde energy into our life, sometimes we do get drawn back to the past to see how the dots truly do connect and lead us to exactly why that had to happen. As tragic as it was, as conflicting as it was, as inconvenient as it was, destiny was at play, and it ultimately led us to where we were meant to be. And it is in this space that I like to refer to as a healing space, when we can really connect into the purpose of why we humbly also experience vulnerability within ourselves on a soul level, for soul healing, for soul growth. We have asked for this on some level. Okay, and when we are able to energetically connect into that energy, that level of consciousness, we can truly feel free. All right, life is not happening to us. It is happening through us and by us at our orchestration, at our creative point. We are master manifestors, yeah? So the energy of purpose can mean all sorts of things. It can be broad. It can be about your soul purpose, your life purpose, the purpose of that thing, the purpose of this connection that you have manifested and brought into your life. Take it however it resonates. There's a beautiful harmonic balancing at play for many Pisceans. You guys have Neptune in retrograde in your sign presently, but it is also at home with you, okay? Neptune is the planet of disillusionment and illusions and how we sort of lie to ourselves as well. You know, Capricorn have quite the heavy weights going on. They've got Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto going retrograde in their signs, but you guys have Neptune. You know, you're offering complementary energies to Capricorn too. You guys are offering complementary energies to the collective. Capricorn is about structure, rules, boundaries. It's the Saturn energy where karma comes back to play, for better or worse. And we can have karma or dharma. It is all about the energy of intention that we put out each and every day. It will always come back to us in one way or another. And when it comes to purpose and bringing things into balance, even we can go through really crappy situations. We can really put ourselves out there, Pisces, and go through experiences that might let us down or hurt us, or we might feel that we karmically did not get our just return based on the energy we put forth. I gave you my honesty, I gave you my trust, I put everything into that job, and this is all I got back. Fast forward down the timeline, we then get to meet the reason why destiny was at play and pushed us towards something else, because we were returned our just desserts in abundance. Okay, we got back more than we had originally put in. We always get the balancing back, for better or worse. All right, this is about the purpose of balance. We're understanding the nature of karma and dharma. Okay. Personally, I always think it's always good just to keep giving as much as is comfortable for our boundary lines, because we know that if the energy of intention is always pure and it's always honest, it's always about not just getting back as well, okay? So we can always look at motivations in that regard too, but we will always get our balancing back. I felt a need to say that. Maybe many Pisceans have had chapters, periods, situations, breakdowns even, guys, when we have to get raw and real with ourselves and say, I'm just not happy anymore, I can't keep going, I need to put a boundary line down. There's a lot of third eye activation, a lot of throat chakra upgrades here, where we are speaking our truth about what needs to be brought into balance. We're getting honest about certain purposes and the purpose of why I had to do that, why I made that choice, why I will no longer do that. Take it however it resonates, Pisces. There's a lot of throat and third eye chakra upgrade for many of you during the 2020 retrograde season. Don't forget that 2020 reduces down to 22, the master 22. It's the master teacher. What has life taught me? What has that challenge taught me? What does this experience want to teach me? And what do I do? And more importantly, reducing that down further still to a 4. What new foundations do I want to start or start to build to really reflect that deeper truth, that newfound wisdom? All right, underneath all this is the 8 of Swords. This came up in your first half of July reading. This was really, and I think this even come up in a couple of quick reads for you guys. This retrograde season has been primarily about you guys getting out of your head. More importantly, it is the imprisonment of our mind. You are a water sign. Now, I'm just really drawn for the first time ever, because it is a sword, right? It is a sword card. It rules the realms of the mind. Maybe the Pisceans I'm connecting into have really disconnected from the essence of who you are, your water body. You are a water sign. Maybe life for the last, year, 8 years even, saw you having to be very logical and make practical decisions, okay? Which is why the Swords is showing up here, but she's only got a little bit of water at the bottom. Like, she's really disconnected from the essence of who she is. And this applies to anyone that gets this card. We really are disconnected from the true essence of our genuine empowerment, Pisces, when we're stuck in our head like this. Make no mistake, the mind is the greatest gift and tool that we can use to really accelerate our life, accelerate our path, to truly understand the purpose and the whys, to get honest, raw and real, and bring things into balance, whatever the case may be, to get us out of feeling stuck. That is the gift of the mind, and it takes sometimes quite a lifetime to really master its essence and purpose in our life. And we can give it a lot of weight too. We can forget to use our intuition. We can start to forget to use our heart, because that's how society teaches us, yeah? Which is the essence of these retrogrades. If I was to put it in a couple of sentences, these retrogrades this year, and especially with the collective energies and the galactic energies at play underneath the Mayan calendar, this is very much about coming into divine union with self, coming into divine union with like-minded souls, truly putting to rest all the karmic stuff that kept us trapped, how we were trapped in the fears of the mind, hanging on to things that were long past their due date, hanging on to false sense of securities, false ideas about love, connection, vulnerability, intimacy. Whatever the case may be, there's a very deep subconscious freedom versus oppression energy to these retrogrades this year. There's also a very deep love versus fear energy, okay? And in many ways, we play this role in our society. We are taught within our family values to continue the energy of fear. Like, it doesn't look like fear, we battle on to get on, we get up to keep going, and all this sort of stuff, and we're making choices that are safe, but they don't make us feel free. And so there's a lot of conflict energy within the realms of the mind, you know. I just think it's such a shame that as a society we haven't really accessed that higher consciousness ability to really embrace the power of the mind, because it's a super powerful tool. More importantly, when used in harmony, it's always about union, it's always about teamwork, okay? When used in harmony with the language of the heart, the wisdom of the heart, and the ancient knowing of our intuition, it really is a powerhouse. It's about getting you really stuck out of how you disconnect from the essence of who you are. And the water body, as all water signs know, they're perhaps the most intuitive out of all, because it is the waters. We are 70% water. It is our feeling space. It contains a level of consciousness that reflects the energy that one might be experiencing. So water signs intuitively pick up on the waters of others, which house 70% of your consciousness, if you like, your conscious energy, what you're emitting, what your frequency is at any one time, which is a collective makeup of your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your past, whatever the case may be. Many Pisceans I'm connecting into perhaps haven't truly mastered a genuine connection with the essence of who you really are. Wow, 88, guys. There was a deep need in this retrograde season. The retrograde classroom is all about you walking away from an old way in which you have perceived what the emotions are for you. You guys are the masters of swimming to the depths of the subconscious. You are also the dreamers, and in very many ways in a state of fear. You know, whether accelerated as fear or not, as a state of just usual operation, functionings, whatever the case may be, we can choose to disconnect from our depths, the deeper drives of our subconscious, by being more focused on our dream state, by being the dreamer, okay? There's an infinite truth here that really many Pisceans I'm connecting into that had to walk away from deeper emotions. Sure, these things can be triggered from trauma, childhood experiences, really challenging experiences within relationships, whatever the case may be. But the whole purpose of soul work is really cryptic, okay? The purpose of soul healing goes beneath the deeper layers. It exists in the language of the subconscious. It is that really cryptic dream space energy where we're motivated to do this, and that's why that happens. And there's a lot of symbolism and synchronicity that exists at that level of healing, okay? Because to say a Piscean is perhaps deeply disconnected from their waters is almost absurd. But the deepest potential of where you can go with your water body, okay, the essence of who you are, Pisces. Perhaps many of you haven't truly explored that on one level or another, especially when I've got the purpose card showing up, especially when I've got the honesty card showing up, especially when I've got the balance card showing up, because it ultimately connects in to your divine intuition. Look at all that purple. There's an upgrade here to your intuitive ability. There's an infinite lesson, wisdom, wanting to balance out. I do see here there are higher principles at play with the Hierophant sitting above all of this, okay? Marriage, maybe in many ways a marriage has been significant, a marriage-like union. I also see here in the past the Lover's card. Maybe many Pisceans I'm connecting into during retrograde season are really coming into union with their head and heart and how they can work in harmony. Again, guys, look at this mirroring. That is head energy, this is heart energy. But both of these are perhaps imbalanced shadow aspects of how best to use these energies. By the time I get to the Queen and King of Cups, their energy is completely empowered. A lot of emotional intelligence. They've been through the tarot. They know the lessons. They've been through that life experience of how our emotions can be completely heavy and drown us, all right? Same too with the Queen and King of Swords. They're completely empowered. They stand strong knowing what the purpose of their mind is and how it can be an enemy for us or it can be our best friend, okay? But when I'm in the Eight of Swords, I'm certainly experiencing the shadow aspects of the mental realms. It's about coming into union, spiritual union, head and heart, all right? Deeper soul stuff here is what I'm picking up on, Pisces. Yes, this can mirror in your relationships. This can mirror in your career path. This can mirror in you getting honest about bringing into balance whatever needs to be brought in balance in your union, in your marriage, in your work, okay? Maybe you were taking career options, pathways that didn't align to your higher calling, spiritual principles. Maybe you've been battling in many ways, especially over the last 2 years, about how to bring two parts of yourself together, two opposing parts of yourself together into genuine union. Maybe Taurus season recently, April and May, was significant for you. Maybe June was significant for you for key time markers during this retrograde season, okay? I feel like you were perhaps really indecisive at an impasse between those two periods, between Taurus season. Okay, so from April, which is when retrograde season kicked off. This is the retrograde classroom, all right? When April kicked off, you were perhaps at an impasse, indecisive, okay, about the best way forward is what I want to say. How, like, there was this burning desire, this infinite calling, okay, this deeper knowing that you knew something had to give, like a forward focus was really calling to you. I want to travel forward. I want to ascend. I want to move forward into that next level of consciousness. I don't want to experience this thing, myself, my life, that way anymore, okay? So maybe by the time you hit April and May, life came crashing down in one way or another, or at least you had to get raw and real with yourself and you had to stare honesty in the face. And maybe that was looking back at you in the mirror and you really had to question the purpose of the whys. You had to bring things into balance first consciously before you could do that emotionally. Because you're safe in your thoughts here, especially the Pisceans I'm picking up on, you feeling very more safe in your thoughts. Like you really are disconnected. Like, I'm not going to say you're disconnected from your emotions. You are a water sign. You probably laugh at me. Like, I'm a water sign too, I get it. But we can, because it is the essence of who we are, especially during times of healing and especially during times of transmutation, times of ascension. We really, on many levels, need to disconnect with the opposite energy of what we are. So maybe you had to be practical, you had to be earthy, you had to be thought-based to feel safe as your water body expanded, as your essence expanded. Does that make sense? Because I do feel in many ways I'm connecting into Pisceans that were more safe in the thought body, the thought realms, the mental realms in one way or another over the last 2 years. You were making practical decisions, practical choices, but then boom, something happened this April and May during retrograde season and it filtered all the way through to June and July. We're still in it, Pisces, you're doing it, you're living it, where you've made some major career choices, you've made some major relationship choices, you've made some major spiritual principle choices around how best to merge, primarily speaking, head and heart. Maybe you were speaking from the heart after a long time of not being able to do so. Maybe you're finding the communications in your love relationships are flowing a lot more easier, a lot more truthful about your genuine desire to really move things to that next level. Maybe you had to communicate endings, okay, when it happens to career, when it happens to relationships. Take it however it resonates. This feels very love and career focused. This also feels very purpose related, as in I want and I deeply desire to follow this inner calling that I've had for a long time, okay? And the relationships and dynamics you had going on, the career path you were leading, are very much tied to the old you, but you were holding on to this, and it took quite a lot of courage to get you to where you are now. And perhaps many Pisceans are still in some state of going within, okay, to seek deeper wisdoms as July closes out. So the final 2 weeks of July, what I'm picking up on is there's this infinite integration and wisdom wanting to come through about how these really are the shadow aspects of these two things, the mind and the heart. This is a heart and head card, okay? This is Gemini, it's the twins. They're not separate, they're both a part of us, okay? And there's some spiritual principles and wisdoms here coming through, okay, for a lot of Pisceans. Maybe a Taurus is relevant, maybe a Gemini is relevant to your story, maybe a Piscean, maybe a Cancer is relevant to your story, Pisces. All right, you've got 88. There's an abundance of wisdom here. There's an abundance of healing. There's an abundance of change. Abundance in very practical forms too. Okay, so take that however it resonates. You've brought a lot of balance in, and you certainly will continue to do so. The more you connect into the genuine energy of honesty, okay, that leads you to your purpose. More importantly, it connects you into the purpose and the whys of everything, everyone, every connection, every breakdown that had to happen before it got you to this point in your timeline. Let's finish off with a healing card, my lovely Pisces, from the Whispers of Healing Oracle deck. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And you got reliable. Since this is about you truly connecting in to the essence of who you are, your water body, since this is ultimately about you upgrading that third eye chakra, that throat chakra, but I'm going to say primarily third eye chakra, Pisces. What does the card of reliability mean for you when it comes to your intuition? Are you conditional when you connect into it? 38. Maybe many of you are connecting into that energy that also reduces down to the number 11, okay? 11 is the master intuitive. You truly can master the purpose of your intuition, master a whole new relationship, come into union with the complete empowerment of what your intuition can be for you in your life, you know? I also want to say, like, if you're coming into a space of bringing things into balance, making head and heart decisions, I want to say yes, they are reliable. Yes, this path will be reliable. And you can also rely on yourself because you've got a strong relationship with your intuition to be able to navigate the path forward. There's a harmonic balancing here of head and heart. Alrighty, that was your reading, my lovely Pisces, for July 16th through to 31st. If you haven't already, please do go ahead and check out your monthly for July, as well as your first fortnight. So all readings are timeless. Just because I put dates on them, they may or may not resonate with what you're going through right now, all right? And also, like I said earlier, unique and only on Instagram are the weekly quick reads. They are just brief 5-minute videos. So if this resonates, Pisces, please do like, share, and comment. More importantly, let your other empath, sensitive, intuitive friends know where to find the channel Indigo Ascension. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the month. Take care.